Good morning. This is Cab here to drive you crazy. And man, it is officially here. The NFL schedule has been released. It is an awesome day to be, a football fan. You get to circle your calendars, figure out what games are going to be the big ones for you, and just figure out from this point forth how you want to set up yourself for this up and coming season. And apologies, it is morning here, like I mentioned earlier, so I got the sun kind of coming in on me. I can't really do anything. I literally have the curtains closed, and that's how much light is coming through. So without any other further ado, let's just get straight into this scheduling right now, because right now opening game is going to be the Miami Dolphins, a 4:25 p.m. game at the Patriots. Liking that situation. It's the second season in a row now that we've had an opener against the Dolphins at home. So for me, it's kind of just something I expect to have a good game against. Obviously, Dolphins are looking pretty stacked now when they have Tua Tagovailoa as well as now Waddle as the wide receiver, bringing back that Alabama connection. And it is going to be a very good game as far as I know, until we can actually see who is going to be the people playing in the starting positions, obviously, and by the time all the cuts happen. Next game is going to be September 19th at the Jets, 1 p.m. game. I tend to look at that one as also a win in the Patriots' favor. So ultimately, I will see that, until the Jets really prove that they can be a good team, I don't see them actually winning this game, because I believe Bill Belichick's defense, especially with the Patriots' offensive schemes, will be able to outlast the Jets. The next game is going to be on the 26th of September, which is going to be the New Orleans Saints at home. And that's also going to be a 1 p.m. game. That one is going to be a very interesting game, no matter what people want to say, because you're going to have Jameis Winston, you're going to have Jason Hill. You're going to have to really figure out who is going to be that Saints team that's going to be going to the New England Patriots to be able to put up against them. But obviously, the one thing that should always be in concerns for is the Saints defense as well, which can or may not be able to show up against a team that will still be trying to make sure that they can figure out their quarterback situation between Cam Newton and Mac Jones. So ultimately with that, I still look to that being another Patriots win, but of course that can go the Saints' way depending on how the outcomes is. And now this one, the one that has been leaked a few times in Twitter and made a mention all around, October 3rd, Sunday Night Football. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at New England Patriots. The return of Tom Brady to Gillette Stadium as an opponent instead of as their QB. Definitely going to be probably the highest rated Sunday Night Football game that we're going to have until maybe later on in the season, to figure out, placings and how standings go. And even with this one, I will say it comes down to who is going to be that starting quarterback, because the way I would like to look at it is the reason why Bill Belichick went so heavy on their defense is probably for this game. And this game is going to be a big tone to say, how well is Bill Belichick's defense going to go up against Tom Brady's offense? That is the straightforward of it. But even with that being said, that one is a half and half, and to be honest, I am going to give that one to the Buccaneers for right now, because unfortunately I don't see the offensive weapons on the Patriots being anything better than what the Bucs offense has. So I'm going to go right there, 3-1 right now for the first 4 games. Next game is going to be at the Texans, October 10th, a 1 p.m. game, and that one I will just straightforward and say, unless the Patriots really can figure out exactly what is going to be the best way to stop this, Houston Texans team who has beaten them now in the last 2 meetings straight. It doesn't seem like it's going to go the Patriots' way either, but at the same time, there's a lot of questions that are coming around on how well is the Texans team going to be in general. So at this point, I will actually say the Patriots will take a win on this one. So I'll say 4-1 from this point. Next game, which has been the add-in game, the game to make it the 17, which was actually going to be October 17th against the Dallas Cowboys at home. So that one is also going to be a good one for me. 4:25 p.m. game for that one. That one I am looking forward to because that is actually my mom's team. So that one still kind of even back and forth. People will always dog on the Cowboys, but they can always have a good game no matter what. I look to that one being a good win for the Patriots, though. So start that one off. Next game is going to be October 24th. Jets at the Patriots, 1 p.m. game. You already heard what I had to make my analysis about the Jets. Unless they can really come in and show that they're going to have a good scheme. You know, even last year, you know, a lot of the games against the Jets came down to the wire, and we were still able to win, you know, the next game in a blowout sense. So I will just look at that as simple as that. We will take that win. Next game is actually on Halloween, October 31st, at the Chargers as a 4 p.m. game. That one is interesting to me because of the simple fact that the Chargers are still going to be a very competitive team. And as most people know, it's a West Coast game for the Patriots. So the flight to head over there is going to take a little toll on them. And really, it just seems like with how Herbert can be a contributing factor for the Chargers, I will probably look to see how well that game goes, because even like last year, right, we had a huge blowout against these Chargers last year, and why I look to say it probably will be a little bit different from last year's 45-0 victory against them. But I do look forward to this game. But I will actually even just make sure to try and make it seem like it's a more balanced scheduling, because, again, everything right now is by speculation. It's by trying to see who's going to be in there, who is going to be the starters. And, of course, as midway through the season goes, you know, a lot of the injuries start to really roll around as well. So we'll see who is going to even be available for those. So at this point in time, I will give the Chargers that win. The very next one, which is actually going to be the interesting one in my eyes, November 7th at the Panthers. The first time Cam Newton gets to play against his former team if he is going to be the starting quarterback. And Panthers really are a really big mixed bag this year because of the difference in who they had at quarterback, who they've been getting at quarterback, the fact that they are still trying to just develop themselves, I believe, as a full team. But they did pick up a lot of good pieces for their draft. And as far as I know, I believe that Cam Newton, if he is the starting quarterback again, will go in there with a chip on his shoulder to make sure that the Patriots come through and win that game. So with that one said, we'll jump right into the next one, which is going to be probably the next biggest game available, November 14th. Cleveland Browns at the Patriots, 1 o'clock game. This one is such a mixed bag again, too, because these are going to be two heavyweight teams in the league, depending on how this, obviously the record will be depending on that, but it is going to show two good teams clashing out with one another. And the last time that the Browns and the Patriots have played, it really came down to some major plays that was necessary to be able to get by, but Browns hold their own against the Patriots a lot of the times. Even for a team that had been struggling for many years, they are showing that they have a reason to be a contending team again. But because it is going to be at home, I believe the crowd will be in effect and will give, ultimately, the Patriots their win in this one. Now we're going to go straight into November 18th, which is going to be the Patriots Thursday night game at the Falcons. And you can just tell that this is going to be one of those games that you just have to say, hey, it's the Falcons and the Patriots. And you already know exactly the reason why I'm going to talk about that. It's not anything I want to really get too far into, but Falcons, obviously, depending on how well their season is going to be going, there's still all the questions that come up against, you know, is Matt Ryan still going to be around? Is Julio Jones going to actually be traded off or not? So there's a lot of things that are still going to come to question about that. But I am actually going to give the Falcons this win. Sounds crazy, but at the exact same time, I do believe they will actually pull away with a short game victory. And again, I'm not looking at the Falcons' schedule to be able to see who they're going to be coming off and playing against either. But at the exact same time, it's one of those games that I believe the Falcons will do anything and everything they can to get that win. Next game is going to be November 28th. So we'll have a little bit of rest time between the Thursday night game and go up against the Titans at home, 1 p.m. game. That one I look forward to as well. Again, Mike Vrabel has been giving the Patriots a lot of hard time as the coach for the Titans and making sure that they have the reason to always be a team that is threatening against the Patriots. The last team that Tom Brady had to verse against as a New England Patriot. So ultimately, I look forward to it, and we'll just go straight into the next one because the next one is another huge game. Monday Night Football, December 6th at the Bills. In conference, the team that won the division last year, and to know that we're versing them this late into the season really shows that this is going to be in a very important game, because around this point in time, we are going to make sure that we can figure out, who's going to be coming away with these top records in the division. And this team is going to be a trouble for the Patriots. So that's why at the Bills, I would say I'm going to give it to the Bills for this one. Now, this one is an interesting one because it does say it's a to be determined whether they're going to do it on the 18th or the 19th of the year, and they're going to have it at the Indianapolis Colts. So no time on that. Great team still, going to be developed, hard fighting team, and I do believe though that because it will be at Indianapolis as well, that the Indianapolis Colts will take this win. The very next week is going to be at Bills at the Patriots now, so we're literally only 2 weeks separation between playing the Bills twice. But I believe at this point in time, that one will be a split game for me. I don't see the Bills really being able to come back to win a back-to-back series again against the Patriots, and especially being at home, I believe that the Patriots will take this win and be able to take it all the way through to try and make sure that they can secure themselves as one of the better records for the division. Straight off into the December 2nd, we'll have the Jaguars at home, Jaguars at the New England Patriots. And that one will be obviously the big questionable game right there too, because it's going to be Trevor Lawrence's rookie year. See if he is going to be the starting quarterback for the Jaguars. See how their record is going to be looking by that time. But because I do believe that the Bill Belichick stands on the rookie quarterbacks, it did get diminished last year against Tua Tagovailoa with his one loss against him. But that's like a record of 1-27 or something like that, if memory serves me correct. So I don't see him losing this game against the Jaguars. So we'll take another Patriots win right there. And then finally, because this one always seems to be the last game of the season as well, at the Dolphins, it is going to wrap it up January 9th. I look to the Patriots actually winning this game, so that way they can finish off the season in a better manner. We always had struggles in Miami from before, but I believe since we can show that we can win against them, we'll have the defense to hold them off, enough of an offensive power to push us through and be able to get this. So ultimately, with everything that I have calculated, I'm looking at about 12-5 record. So 12-5 record for the New England Patriots this upcoming season. Thank you very much for watching this video and my analysis. Leave a like if you appreciated what I had to say. Drop a comment if you have anything you want to share. And of course, hit that subscribe button for any more content from myself. My name is Cab, and I am here to drive you crazy. Aloha, God bless, and take care.